Greetings, everyone. Om Jala Jala Vajra Hum Pat, Om Jala Jala Vajra Hum Pat, Om Jala Jala Vajra Hum Pat. Om Dasa Daja Duvini Du Devataya Hum Pat, Om Dasa Daja Duvini Du Devataya Hum Pat, Om Dasa Daja Duvini Du Devataya Hum Pat. We will repeat this. Last week I have testified that the previous day was a shit day with many other beautiful moments. Well, I want to assure you that yesterday was a great day, also with a lot of beautiful moments. And one shit moment that lasted 30 seconds. A non-dramatic thing. And I'm still happy. And I hope you are. Last week, I got scolded by my translator, saying I was super fast. I understand. I was nervous and excited and troubled. I consider myself to be quite evolved for a human being and to be a master of myself. And I love to share my failures, or that one was not a failure. Humanize myself to you guys so that you will realize, regardless where you are in your evolution, you are still incarnate and you still have to deal with nature and its influence. And at the bottom, we're human, just little humans. If you see a great master constantly proclaim that he is a divine incarnation, that he is beyond human trouble, take a deep breath, respect him, of course, and just trust evolution. You have no lesson to give to a person like that. Just move on. Okay. I hope that you will be simple. It feels so good to experience high divine states. It feels so good to experience supreme power, the excitement of nature. And you should never be afraid of these things. Embrace these intense moments of your life where your animal is strong. But keep in mind that not everyone is ready for such power. It could frighten them. But it is not wrong to embrace power, as we are studying in this process. More and more feelings of power will happen. And I will ask you to have discernment and not exposing this power to people who did not choose it. It's just about compassion, discernment. Okay? The next mantra is passive yet powerful. Seal number 5. Seal number 4 was powerful and active. We are literally saying forces born of demons or demonic energy in the 4th seal. we consider this process to be holy. And of course, after we say, go away, we want to get rid of that. But we're still talking about dense potentials that are negative based or demonic based. So you see, there is a way to address the topic of animal power and demonic power, and be certain that it is exposed in a masterful way, under control. But it is not wrong to experiment with these forces. We have to be careful of the result, the consequence, but it is not wrong, okay? So keep working on your discernment and trust yourself. All right, Paolo? You did nothing wrong. Just be compassionate. All right, Nick, who keep insulting people, relax, man. You did nothing wrong. But be careful when it causes suffering. All right, Frank? Just make sure your power trips don't bother other people. But it is so magnificent to feel the power. If you're afraid to feel strong, intense moments, even in your animal, then there's a part of God you're not embracing. It only matters that those around us are not exposed to these experiences, if they're not there yet. So this week, I received so many emails, Facebook messages that my assistant said I had, and even personal comments from my human environment of people experiencing power, and it had consequences. Of course, it has consequences. We have to learn that this power has consequences. There's a big difference when something is wrong or something is acceptable but could cause suffering. There's a big difference. Okay? So it is our discernment to learn that. All right. So don't freak out, people. Don't freak out. Trust evolution. Now, I will share a story. I think everyone will enjoy that little thing. It is by losing students that I could study what makes me lose students. When people were angry at me, disappointed, I'll go to the barber when it's appropriate, Veronica. Veronique. I learned that it is not a good promotion for my teachings or for the Mahariya to scare away the new students. But I learned that through experience, not through obedience. I did not learn this by following guidelines that my masters taught me. My masters were insane. Okay. So much more disturbing than I was. But I've seen people angry at them, my masters. I have seen so many reactions in the path where I trained in my early 20s. So by seeing it, I started learning. When I did inappropriate actions, say inappropriate words, what does it mean, inappropriate? I was just experiencing my emancipation, my great power. And it has frustrated some. Through that, I learned discernment through experience. Regardless of the step where you are in your evolution, you will realize that you say things that push people away. And you say things that attracts people towards you. And the more comfortable words usually attract people. And as a therapist yourself, you would think, but that's not the truth. They need to learn the truth through slaps in the face. There's no perfect solution. Blue pill, red pill. There's no perfect solution. We try our best. So during the week of practice of the Dasadaja, the demon-born potentials, that story came from every side. There was many of these experiences of power. It is not wrong, but it requires discernment. To be afraid to experience great power, that will hide you apart of God. So but there will be consequences. And you should not impose that to others by telling them to experience the power, especially if it's against the law. Never do that. That's stupid. I find this story is great to explain the bridge between the fourth and the fifth seal. Okay. Let's look at the fifth mantra. It ends with Swaha. Most mantras in this process will end with Hum Pat, asking you to be certain. In a way, powerful. Om Nabanapanapaya Mahasrija Swaha. Oh, force of habit, we will say Mahasrija Hum Pat. Because we're used to. We're just used to it. No. The Dasadaja was on the active hand. And now the Vajramudra is on the passive hand. Calm, receptive. As we expose the mantra, we will cultivate humility in front of a power so much greater than us. And this is the bridge between personal power and divine power. Divine power is beyond us. It is greater than us. It is not something as an ego you can say, I have divine power. Although you actually do have. It's paradoxal, yeah. Let me rephrase that. When you say, I have divine power, what you mean is that you have access to divine power that belongs to the universe and not yourself. An ego that says, I have divine power as an individual, is on a power trip. And it feels great. And then people hate you for the consequences. It's a normal part of the discovery. Okay? Trust evolution. We are growing in this. Okay? I'm looking at the sheets, but there's something only in the book. I know the mantra, but since some of you have the reference, I have to see how I wrote it. Not moved, no tumult. Yes, okay. Nabha with an H, Nabha. The H is not exaggerated, but it is present. Om Nabha, Nabha, Napaya. The Nabha is what falls from other planes. It is what densifies from the Bhava, those who study creationism. Not religious creationism, Hindu creationism. Bhava, the Bah of everything coming out of vacuity. Okay? Nabha is the densification of that energy. The interpretation then, what gushes from the heavens? For the translators, gushing is splashing, but usually splashes upward. Gushing is downward. Okay? Splashing, spouting, spurring. In French, jaillir. Éclater, mais jaillir. So in Spanish, do your effort to find a proper word. Okay? So, gushes. It's not just falling. It literally gushes. So, there's a pressure behind vacuity that is pushing this to fall, to come. Okay? So a splash is not a little, a splash is, you know. Nabha, in this mantra, we have it twice. It is intensely exploding from the heavens towards the planes of creation. Napaya, there is no tumult, no turbulence. But it also means we are not troubled by this emanation of God coming down in nature. As we learn this process, I tell you in your practice, go 2 steps before, just recite a few times, then focus on the step you're studying. In this case, Jala Jala Vajra, Dasa Daja Duvinidu Devataya, and then we go for this stage. That's to help you make relationships, to make links. But in this case, I want to make a link with the second seal that we studied. Jala Rora Manaira. Okay? The Jala Rora Manaira. And your hand is down like this, but I want to show you. The Jalarora Manaira was stay immobile as everything moves. Let that shit go. It is a way of saying Jalarora. There is a flow, but personal, in your mind if you want, but personal. There's a flow. And you practice being non-dramatic. Jalarora Manaira. Keep your mind clear and soft while all of this flow happens. Okay? That is the practice at the personal level to give you a personal experience so that then you can apply it at a divine scale. Naba, naba, napaya. It is gushing at a galactic scale, immense, surpassing my ability to imagine its dimension. So much divine force is gushing out of vacuity into the manifest world. And yet, I am unmoved. In a way, we trained Jalarora Manaira so that we can apply it at a cosmological scale and be humble. Hence, the mantra ends with Swaha, a soft contemplation of paying homage, prostrating, finding it glorious, this surpassing power. Okay. So as you train before various stages where you concentrate with determination, hum, pat, centered, focused, powerful. Now, let go. It is the fifth step. Left hand, passive. And you humbly contemplate something greater than you. And you let the flow of the Naba come to you. And you are peaceful, Napaya, without turbulence in the process. With the right hand, keep the Dasadaja mudra, the grounding mudra. On the left hand, it was a bowl. Step 3, Jala Jala Vaja, it was a bowl. Now your major touches your thumb. And your pinky will rest at the middle of your tongue. If you look on the side, it is the little bunny mudra. Okay, it's cute. All right. In this tradition, we call it the Vajra mudra. In other traditions, the Vajra mudra is a different mudra. Okay, so don't get picky with this. The major is touching, and the pinky goes on the side of the thumb. Okay? And you rest it. Now, it is the experience that grounds, and your feeling are resting in the middle, in balance. Okay? So that, when we put, it's not the tip that is on the middle of the thumb, it is the sides that are on the sides. That means your emotions are balanced and they are resting on your grounding, on your balance. Okay, so everything is centered and peaceful. So as you bring the heavens on earth, Your feelings are stable and balanced, resting there. Little bunny. Okay, hope you remind this. All right. Yeah, not the pinky, but the ring finger. I forgot. The pinky is this one. The ring finger is resting. Thank you, Shiva. When I do dialogue mistakes like that, I'm grateful that you correct me. So that we will avoid the reflex of humpa, we will slow down in the last two words. Okay? So instead of saying it quick, Om Naba Naba Napaya Mahasrija Hompa, oops, we will say Om Naba Naba Napaya Mahasrija Swaha. We will make sure that we are resting in the Mahasrija. Now for the interpretation of Mahasrija, great creation. Combined with the Naba means these great creative forces or the great creation potentials. Okay. Basically, Brahma's emanation. Brahma's emanations in nature. Om Naba Naba Napaya Mahasrija Swaha. You make sure that you're resting. After saying Napaya, it makes you rest. And the Naba is immense compared to the Jala Jala, which is very small. Jala Jala Vajra is personal. Naba Naba Napaya is immense because it is the Bhava coming. Do you see how easy it is to be taken with a power trip? To want to go to the Humpat, to stay powerful and determined. And now you have to let go of this strength inside you and let yourself flow in the whole. Admit so much is greater than you. And the ego wants divine power. But divine power belongs only to God, which is universal. We are humble in front of it. Of course, we will feel great power in the animal after the practice, and it is acceptable. The Swaha here is a lesson of humility. The Napaya means that it will not cause turbulence. It also means you, as a human, do not go causing turbulence. Stay non-dramatic in the great power. Of course, sometimes we will shout and we will chant. We will dance and we will inappropriate moments where you are surrounded with other warriors who share the passion of hunting or fighting. And in front of the children and the scared elders, you'll be soft. Like this mantra says, humble and soft in front of the great power of Mahasrija. As it falls from the heavens, Naba Naba, it is not turbulent. It is devotional. Swaha. Good. Now the link between step 3 and step 5 is Jala Jala Vajra, and step 5 is Naba Naba Mahasrija. We added Napaya for no turbulence before the Mahasrija, and Swaha is the suffix of this mantra for humility. The links is the Jala Jala Vajra, Naba Naba Mahasrija. Okay, these are the links of it follows one after the other on the left hand. Okay, they're not always that obvious. We will do 3 recitations of the 3rd step. Have your sheets ready if you need them. You first had a pearl. You extend into the bowl of the 3rd step. Om Jala Jala Vajra Hom Pad. Om Jala Jala Vajra Hom Pad. Om Jala Jala Vajra Hom Pad. You had the rope mudra. You just get close in the Dasadaja mudra. Om Dasadaja Duvini Du Devataya Hom Pad. Om Dasadaja Duvini Du Devataya Hom Pad. Om Dasadaja Duvini Du Devataya Hom Pad, with the certainty of it. And now you will rest your feelings and relax. Om Naba Naba Napaya Mahasrija Swaha. We put a pause before the Mahasrija to make sure that we rest. Om Naba Naba Napaya Mahasrija Swaha. Om Naba Naba Napaya Mahasrija Swaha. It is the 5th seal filled with potentials. I will remind the Kabbalists that even though the 4th seal had a lot of D in it, seal 1 and 2 are about Bet, 3 and 4 about Gimel, 5 and 6 about Dalet. Here the Dalet is the energy coming to the world, the passage. Those who are not Kabbalists don't care about this, okay? The practice will be longer than usual because we want to relax just before the Mahasrija Swaha. So just be patient. Just recite it. Hydrate yourself with whatever beverage of preference. Yes, Dalet 5 and 6. I told you it was so foreign, far, this Oriental practice to the Occidental occult system, that it would not be easy for the Kabbalists to find the links. It is through the feelings of the Naba Naba, great force coming from heavens, and Dalet is the doorway through which these forces fell. So then we make the links. Okay. Just for the Kabbalists who have years of study before. Others, it's really just for my friends to play that I made these Kabbalistic references. It's really not essential to the process. Not at all. Mala in the right hand. Oh, we are comfortable with that hand. Mudra. Tel correio fez du lapin content. They called it the Vajra Mudra because it was the fifth. I think. That is just speculation. Meaning I don't know why they called it the Vajra Mudra. In some tradition, Vajra Mudra is like this. You just stretch your fingers out. No, it's this. Yeah, like if I knew the truth of all mysteries. Yes, I'm wasting time right now. I feel that the energy is working. I will tell you when we start. I'm feeling a lot of forgiveness. There is regret if you look past when you did your egocentric power trips and regretted the consequences. It is not the power you regret. It is the consequences. We each have said words or done things that seemed angry, or violent, insulting, and we push others away. Take the time to regret this, not because it was wrong. Guilt is not about right and wrong. Guilt is the fact that you know you are not loved because of the consequence. Remember the integration. It's difficult, this one. Guilt is feeling that love go away. Experimenting evolution is not wrong. Grow in compassion with others and grow in forgiveness with yourself and wisdom, prudence, of course. Okay. Good. I was missing this teaching. I'm happy. Om Naba Naba Napaya Mahasrija Swaha. 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 Now we accelerate just a bit, okay? Om Naba Naba Napaya Mahasrija Swaha. 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 Om Nabanabanapaya 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 Mahasrija Humble. Om Nabanabanapaya Mahasrija Swaha. 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 Om Nabadamanapaya 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 Mahasrija Swaha. I will take the opportunity you just have to find a place inside where I feel good and where you are ready for the teaching that follows. In this bridge that we made between personal and universal power, between the certitude of Hum Pat and the humility of Swaha, I use the events that happen in the Majya or in my life to choose my topics. So I wish to speak of the stages of evolution that we have categorized in 22 steps. In many contexts, I do not like to speak about this topic because it holds so many traps. But it is so useful that we will say, we will try to identify where we are in our evolution according to these guidelines. But we have to remember, it is about the lessons that we are facing and not about the accomplishments we have done. I will take multiple examples. Shivagam is an avatar. He is, in this lifetime, although still less powerful and less wise, more advanced than me in those stages. However, he has never been so weak, tired. You can't fall in the traps of what these Vibhava-pad mean. Shivani has been trapped in the holy Arant for so long because she had not embraced the lesson of the pain in attachments. When she has resolved it, she skipped the stage of Pratyeka. She skipped the stage of Buddha entirely. I was quickly a caretaker. And now she's studying, the next stages. It went very fast. But some of us have known her for years in a specific battle of hatred. And she was a saint. Okay? Prijvalita is a Mahasattva, a great being. Sometimes he seems to not give a shit. we would think he is indifferent to the world. It is a reflex after the stage of Tathagata to not be so concerned with little things like personal drama. So you see, in a great stage of evolution, the perception of others will not embrace where we are. And then, regardless of what Prajvalita has accomplished, now he is in the lessons of the Mahasattva, the great being. So, of course, moments of great pretension, I am so great, they arise. The conflict with what concerns me and what concerns the whole. Because in the feelings of, I am so great, the feeling was, I feel so great. And the next stage is, it feels so great. God feels so great. And it was never about me. But my ego kept it, I feel so great. But it was everything feels so great. That's another example of the lessons of the Mahasattva. A question arose about Paulo Andrade. He is well advanced in the Pratyeka Buddha, absolutely. If we look at what he has resolved, he is well advanced in there. And then he has his flaws and his arrogance. Of course, he is not in the lessons of the Buddha or the world-hearted one. In the Pratyeka, the trap is that everything is about you. Of course, he doesn't pay attention to the consequence of his action. But he has accomplished the stage where it is impossible for him to regress backwards. Therefore, well advanced in the Pratyeka Buddha. And I have never doubted that. But it does not remove any of the lessons that we go through the ego. So please, each time you think that person cannot be this or that level of accomplishment, because I have seen some arrogance. If Paulo has acted in a way that scared a few people, not all of them, just a few, but these people talked, and you judge him, remember that you have scared people away in your life by being egocentric, and that your vision is clouded. Our experiences of power are not wrong. They have consequences. It's a completely different thing. Trust evolution. See the big picture. Don't get trapped. If there is something that concerns the well-being of society, or concerns the law, it is important to mention it. An example. A master will never say, it is good for your evolution if you have sex with me. Come on, just be honest and say, hey, I'm a human, you're a human, do you want to? Pure freedom. But don't try to sell it with evolution. That's manipulation. A master of the Maria should not say, remove your mask during a time of pandemic. Regardless of how it feels true in nature to be without a mask. Society recommends it. and we have to respect society, or else Magia will be eliminated. So these are examples I wish to give. It's important to respect the standards of your society. But other than that, we all do experiences that go well and go wrong. We all grow in so many beautiful ways. And we should all stop panicking when there is a turbulence and dare look, what is bothering me in this? Every time someone asks me in which state of evolution they are, they want to be proud of what they have accomplished. And I'm like, oh my God, that's not the point. The point is what is all left to resolve. It's not about how great the accomplishment you've done so far. It's all about what is the next thing that will cause suffering because of my actions. It's lessons to grow from. Next example, if you fight to defend your title. But Maha said I was a emanating one. Maha said I was becoming, a Tathagata. If someone confronts you and you're protecting a title, you have forgotten the stage of evolution are not titles. They are pointers to the flaws that remain. You don't need to protect your title about your greatness. There is no Buddhahood in that battle for importance. Okay? So I hope it was useful and educative. All right. I love you guys.